Mathematics is the language of the universe. Growing up, I found maths pretty boring. I always felt I was told to follow directions blindly, not knowing why or how the formula or theorem I was told to follow connected with the rest of mathematics. For such a complex and intricate field of study, there must be connections and relationships hidden within the numbers themselves. Thus today, let's explore what is considered to be the most beautiful equation in all of mathematics. E to the I pi plus 1 equals to 0. It turns out we are able to find Euler's number from the sum of its infinite series. Similarly, e to the power of x, sine x, and cosine x can be expressed as the following. By combining sine x and cosine x, it looks somewhat like e to the power of x, but not quite. The problem is that the signs switch every third term, unlike e to the power of x where every sign is positive. To make the two equations equal, we see that we need to multiply something to this term, this term, this term, and so on, so that n squared equals to -1. But how can n be the square root of -1? It turns out that when mathematicians hit a wall in mathematics, instead of trying to break it, they go around it, in this case by creating imaginary numbers. I also follows a circular pattern in periods of 4, in which I to the power of 1 is I squared is -1, I cubed is negative square root of -1, and I to the power of 4 is 1, where if you keep going, I to the power of 5 will equal to I to the power of 1, and so on. Let's now express e to the power of ix as a polynomial. Remembering what I represents and with a little rearrangement and factoring, the series is equal to cosine x plus I times sine x, where if x is pi, since cosine pi is -1 and sine pi is 0, the equation simplifies to e to the I pi equals to -1. So what should you take away from all this? Every field of mathematics are interconnected and oftentimes dependent on each other. Even when completely abstract concepts from separate fields are put together, sometimes it may just formulate the most elegant mathematical equation.